We have a 2-game NBA preseason slate on Saturday, guys. This one should be fun. We have Milwaukee, Memphis being played at 7 p.m. Central. And then we have the midnight game, Washington and Golden State, once again being played in Japan. So if you can't stay up late on Saturday, I would recommend taking this slate off. But yeah, guys, if you're a first-time viewer, welcome to the channel. I do cover content for Draftkings and Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the sponsor of today's video. You can use the code DKDFS for a 100% match up to $100. If you're a first-time user, take advantage of that. That's a free $100 to play with on the site. Also, do have a Prize Picks Now Only package on Patreon. We hit our first play for the NBA season, and we do have some props up right now for tomorrow's games. Nothing that I'm hopping on yet. I'm going to kind of wait for more news to come out, but we'll talk about that. If you guys are looking for the more in-depth content for DFS, also, again, I have a lot of different packages over on Patreon. Check it out, linked down below. We can go over a few winners from last night. We had a BP take down the FanDuel slate. He won by 10 points. He's been on fire. Also had a big win in the NFL Showdown slate. Solid was at 6x there. Another big win. It was a great day overall. Also, again, NFL content was phenomenal. We had first place $27,000. Again, FanDuel first place again for BP. Mark with a huge takedown as well, $3,000. Just phenomenal day for us yesterday for DFS. Hoping to keep that going. Again, NBA, NFL package, Prize Pick package. That's all on Patreon, linked in the description. And then going over my lineup really quick, this is what I went with. Steph Curry, captain, with Porzingis, Poole, Kuminga, Wiseman, and Rui. I was, the first half of that game, I was on full tilt mode. I was so upset. I thought the Porzingis faders were going to get away with it, but rightfully so. They were severely punished for fading Porzingis, thankfully. Jordan Poole and Steph Curry shooting 1 of 63 combined was not ideal. Also, very tilting. Kuminga has been really bad, even since the summer league. He has not been great. Wiseman was pretty low owned. He absolutely smashed, and then Rui was a smash as well. So, it was a good start to the NBA season, guys. Hoping to keep that going. Let's talk about this 2-game slate. As far as news goes, we don't have much out yet. Memphis, nothing. Milwaukee, they did say there's potential they might rest the main guys. So we'll keep an eye on that. We can take a look quickly at what these teams did the first preseason game last year. So the Grizzlies, or let's start with the Bucks. The Bucks rested a lot of their main guys last year. They played a lot of the young guys good minutes. Sandro Mamukelashvili played 29 minutes. Thanasis 19. Jordan Award 23. So I'm guessing we might see something similar to that for tomorrow, but we don't have that definitive news yet. On the opposite side, the Grizzlies actually played their main guys a lot. Triple J played 33 minutes. He saw 30 minutes for Bane, 24 for Ja, 22 for Adams, 34 for Kyle Anderson off the bench. So I'm not sure if we're going to get this type of run again for the Grizzlies, but it is good to see that it's at least possible. So we'll start off with Memphis. Again, news-wise, we know that Triple J is out, Danny Green is out. Don't think Killian Tilly will be available as well. Top-end guys, both guards look good in Ja and Bane. I'm going to prefer Ja to Bane. I think salary on the slate doesn't really matter. This is definitely a slate I could see leaving some money on the table, especially if Milwaukee rests some guys too. But if we're going to get like low to mid 20 minutes for John Morant, I think he stands out as one of the better plays in the slate. Same thing with Desmond Bane, where he saw a ton of run last game. We will get more clarity on this most likely before lock. So we're just making assumptions. Memphis could very easily rest the main guys. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. But if we go off what last year minutes for the first game, a lot of these Grizzlies guys are going to look good. You can make the argument for Brooks. I think he's fine. I think Adams most likely starts the 5 with Clark at the 4. I think both are solid options in the mid-range, assuming both push for 20-plus minutes. Guys off the bench, Tyus is fine. Xavier Tillman is fine. I think we'll get him and Killian Tilly. We get some of the backup run there. Dyer Williams, again, just okay. There are like some cheap end guys here that, we can consider if Memphis rests a lot of their main guys. But if they don't, it's going to be hard to get down to guys like this at the bottom. But maybe a guy like David Roddy or even Kenny Lofton, those are like good point per minute guys. If Memphis ends up resting a lot of the main guys, I think those guys would be in consideration. On the Milwaukee side, so we're not going to see Middleton. I don't think we see Grayson Allen. Joe Ingles also out. I think this is a game that you might not see like Giannis, Drew, Portis, Lopez, Connaughton, Ibaka. I think this is a game where you might see a lot of the veterans rest. So if that is the case, if they do end up resting a lot of their main guys, then we're going to have a lot of good value here from Milwaukee, right? We know Jordan Nwora is a guy that's going to probably shoot 20-plus times when he's out there. Wigington was really solid in Summer League. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. I think he would make for a pretty good value. Sandro Mamuklashvili is a great point per minute guy. I think if he gets a lot of run, he would look pretty good. You can make the argument for Marjan Beauchamp. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but one of the I think he's the only rookie for Milwaukee. I expect him to get a decent amount of run as well. So we could have a lot of good value here for Milwaukee if they rest their veterans. Now, if they don't, if we get news that starters are playing and they're going to play low 20s minutes, then obviously I love Giannis at 8-4. That's way too cheap. Drew and Portis would be in play, but I have a feeling we might not see a lot of these Milwaukee starters tomorrow. And then Washington and Golden State. So taking a look at, if you looked at the minutes last game, I got the Beal faders got very bailed out. That was me. I got extremely bailed out with Brad Beal only playing the first half. We don't have any news yet for Washington. I think we get similar minutes, though, of starters, probably low 20s minutes for a lot of the main guys. So, like Beal, Porzingis, Kuzma, once again, I think all three are solid options. If we're going to see 20-plus minutes from these guys, they all look good. I'd probably once again rank them Porzingis, then Beal, and Kuzma. But like all three, not super interested in a guy like Monte Morris. I think he's fine, but the other three just have a lot more upside. I think there's going to be some good value plays. So I don't know if I'm going to really looking a lot in the mid-range. I will say Gafford's viable. He played about, I think it was like 15 minutes on the bench. Again, solid as far as point per minute goes. Once again, I like Rui quite a bit. He did play the most out of anyone at Washington, played 25 minutes last game. I think he once again looks like a great value since the game is being played in Japan. Not much else for value. I'll mention Johnny Davis. He's been really bad. It was really bad in the Summer League. It was really bad once again last night, but he did play 22 minutes. So they want to see what they have in Johnny Davis. And if you take a look at the minutes, this was the second preseason game for the Wizards last year. You kind of saw a similar run, right? Starters seeing low 20s minutes, main bench guys seeing like mid-teens minutes, and then kind of the end of the bench guys getting that fourth quarter. So that's what I think happens in this game. Moving on to Golden State. The Golden State limited the minutes of the starters more than Washington, like low to mid-teens for a lot of the main guys there for Golden State. If you take a look at last game 2 for Golden State in the preseason last year, they did limit the minutes again to like teens. You did see Poole push for the only one that pushed for 20-plus minutes. So this is pretty important to monitor for Golden State. Also, Klay Thompson already confirmed out. Now, if we get news that they're going to play into the second half, then I like Steph and Poole quite a bit. I know they both shot awful, but if they're going to see minutes, 20-plus, I'm fine going right back to the wall with either of those Golden State guards. Super high usage. I don't think they're going to shoot, was it 1 of 16? Or I don't know what it was. They shot awful. It was so tilting. Draymond had a really good game in limited action. I'll let others chase that. I don't see that happening again. Wiggins is just there. Looney's fine, but I would rather take shots on guys like Kuminga and Wiseman, who saw a good chunk more minutes. Kuminga played a lot, but he still didn't do a ton. 26 minutes, went for 6 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. I still think he's a decent play, but he's really been struggling of late from Summer League now into the first preseason game. And then Wiseman was phenomenal. He'll be one of the chalkiest plays on the slate, but he saw 24 minutes, 20 points, 9 boards, almost a double-double with a block. Felt that sneeze coming. But those guys look really, really good. We didn't see as much run for the rookies, so Kerr kind of trolled there. Baldwin and Rollins only saw, I think it was like 10, 11 minutes each. They both were solid when they're out there, but they didn't see as much run. So we'll keep an eye on news. But as I said, you can never, ever, ever trust Steve Kerr. I don't really think there's anything else I wanted to mention. McClung didn't play. He was one of the few guys that didn't play last game. Trayvon Williams only saw a couple minutes. I'm not looking like Witherspoon or Kenosis, whatever his name is. Moody, I guess I'll mention him too at 4-3. He's viable. He saw a lot of minutes as well. He's a little bit scoring dependent, but if he's going to make his shots, he can definitely have a ceiling game too. So, yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the video. Again, if you have been enjoying the NBA preseason content, just make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Appreciate you guys, as always, and I'll see you all in the next one.